Hey guys, my name is Kamillah Grosso. I'm the RA in the second floor.
And I'm Moses. I'm your RA for the
Third floor.
Third floor.
You forgot where you live?
Sometimes I really do.
Okay, that's funny.
And you're listening to the second edition of our Suny Broome Podcast. So thank you for coming back. Yes, it is called What's the Buzz.
What's the Buzz? Thank you guys for listening. And today's topics, we're going to be talking about Native American Heritage Month.
Intersectionality. And the most important thing ever,
mental health. Definitely. It's a big thing, huge thing. So let's get started.
So first we're going to be talking about intersectionality. And if we're going to do that, we have to talk about what exactly is intersectionality. It's basically the intersection of two or more identities. So you might identify as pansexual or anywhere within the LGBTQ plus community, and also as African American. The way those two identities intersect and interact with each other is intersectionality. Yep. And it doesn't necessarily have to be race or sexual identity. It can be any two things that you identify with.
Yep. Or more than two, really.
Honestly.
Yep. It's all between what's race, age, ethnicity group, religion, body types.
All of those.
Yep, all of those, definitely.
So when it comes to intersectionality, one thing that you might experience a bit more of is discrimination. Mm-hmm. If you're part of more than one oppressed group, then you may end up dealing with twice the oppression. Yep. So if you were, for example, Asian American and African American, so what's that, Blasian?
Yep. Yep. Oh my God, I love that word.
So yeah, sometimes you end up dealing with twice the amount of discrimination, and sometimes you may not be as in touch with one of the identities that you identify with than the other. And that's perfectly okay. I think Makeda and Dargachu put this in the most clear and concise way that she could. Your identity is you, and everything else is a secondary characteristic. Yep. You are Kamillah Grosso, or you are Moses Griffith, and that should be the priority when it comes to your identity. Yep, and everybody is unique in their own ways, and everybody's different, and that's why if you ask someone a question, it might not be the same answer for everybody, because in their experience, they have, encountered different types of stuff in their life because of their intersectionality. So, yep, basically. Yep. On top of discrimination, you may also experience some type of inequality in terms of like what you got growing up. I know in some schools, like because of the place they were located in, they got a little less funding than certain other schools with a different ethnic group that as the majority. Yep, definitely. And also like if you're a woman and like, you get this inequality in the job, but you're also an African American woman, and it's just like, and probably your age, you're like in your 20s, so you don't get the same advantages as someone that's probably experienced, like a white woman in her 40s, let's say, but, that's usually what happens. Yeah, no, and especially with intersectionality, you have a lot of specific struggles that you may or may not necessarily relate to. And that actually reminds me specifically of mixed babies. Mm-hmm. And everybody wants mixed babies because they want their little green-eyed little children running around. Yep. You have to understand that when you have a child of a different ethnicity, that you may not necessarily understand and be able to relate to the struggles that child will experience growing up. Definitely. So before you go around telling people that you want mixed babies, understand what's actually in the mix. Yep, and definitely the struggle that your kid may have to go through, growing up or anything. Because, yes, let's say, I am Dominican and I get with, let's say, a white guy, right? My kid might not be my color or have my hair type. So, it's like really hard because I'm their mother and I'm probably not going to be how to understand to be light skinned or like to have straight hair, I don't know that stuff.
So it's stuff like you have to think about. And, sometimes you don't choose to, who to be with and have your kid with. But, it's something to think about.
Sometimes things happen.
Oh, yeah.
Seasons change, condoms break.
Yep.
I think that about covers it for our intersectionality section. Yep. So the next thing we're going to be going into is going to be
mental health.
Sure, let's talk about mental health. We love it.
Yay.
So in terms of mental health, we understand finals are coming up. It's a stressful time for everyone.
Very stressful.
Especially with everything else going on in the world and no space.
Yep. And being online.
The internet is a scary place.
Yep.
So one way to protect your mental health is especially just learning to disconnect from the internet. You don't have to be on your phone seeing all of this news 24/7, especially that recent news. I don't want to remember his name. The child that was recently lynched, the first one. Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know? Oh, okay.
I'm here waiting to see what you're going to say, and I'm like, I am so lost. What
So
kid?
We're actually going to remember his name. I believe it was Kawan Bobby Brown in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
He, if I remember this correctly, was out and the police basically said, oh, he probably just went to a football game. He was missing for a couple of days.
What?
Came back and you really don't want to see the body, but he was chopped up. The 15-year-old kid. Yes. This was shortly after our election, so...
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't...
That is just not...
I don't have words. And when I say I don't want to remember his name, I don't mean it in the sense of, like... I don't want to know who it is. It's more
just,
so...
It's definitely very painful to see such a young person to, like, die that way. And it's just a very, very scary to think about. Like, we can't even go outside anymore and, like, be certain that we're going to come back. So that's just very crazy.
Yeah, no, looking at the actual article, they said that Kawan's parents reported his disappearance on October 30th. And the Baldwin Police Department took the report, but they gave no sign that they were actually searching for him. And they actually suggested that he might have gone to a football game and asked if he had a troubled past. Which is kind of like, A, why? B, that's not your job. C, it goes back to what we're talking about with intersectionality and struggles. The black struggle has not ended and probably will not end anytime soon. Soon. When I say I don't want to remember his name, it's because I know that if I have to sit down and deal with this again after George Floyd, after everything that we've just gone through, I'm just not ready to deal with that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes right back to protecting your mental health. Sometimes you have to step away from all the bad things in the world. I understand that especially our generation, we want to fight to make a change. Mm-hmm. We see a problem and we want to deal with it. And we see another problem and we want to deal with that too. And we want to deal with all of them. We don't want to prioritize anything because that feels like we're saying that something is less than what it actually is.
Yep.
But sometimes we have to prioritize ourselves over all of these problems that we want to fix. Yep. Because if you burn out, there's no second you. Yep. You are the only you that's there.
That's the thing, like, you have to disconnect sometimes. Like, I didn't know about this news, and it's because sometimes you have to stay away from the news. The news is just, it's a lot of stuff out there that can overwhelm you and your mental health. So, sometimes you have a say of what you see on the internet. You can definitely skip TikToks. You can definitely skip news. You can definitely change the channel. So it's like, you got to take a break. It's not that you're going to ignore what's happening. We should definitely know what's going on and, think about the stuff that's going on in the world. But don't be overwhelmed about it because there's as much as you can do.
Yeah, and I especially appreciate that you brought up social media. It was actually through TikTok that I ended up finding out about this. I swiped through it the first time because it was like, I don't need to see this. And then it came up a second time, and I said, okay, I'm clearly not going to get away from this today, so I let it play out. And then I kept swiping, and then it came up a third time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, after a certain point, especially social media, you have to find a balance of how much time you actually want to sit there looking at it. Because if it weren't for the fact that I had so many other things to deal with right now, I would probably sit there and read more and really go and look at what is going on, and fully knowing that that's just going to get me more upset.
Oh, yeah. The other day, I was really going through TikTok, and I was seeing this video that a girl, she's a white girl, she's with her husband, it's black, and they have a kid, right? So they're going in the car, and they get stopped because she was speeding, and the cops take him. They arrest him. He's not even driving. He's in the passenger seat, and they asking him to step out of the car. He's like, "Why are you arresting me?" And they were only going like 10 or 15 over the limit, which is not that crazy actually. So it's like, come on. And then they were being so aggressive. They literally took him like really brutally. And then she was crying. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what the heck? I sit there and I was like, going into her page to see what actually happened. And then there were so many more videos, and I was just sitting there crying because look, this happened like just that day. And he wasn't even, even driving. So what the, it's just too much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. The world is in a very dark place right now, and sometimes you just gotta find something that brings you light.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess our tip to you is find something that brings you light.
Yep. You can listen to music. You can paint. You can do a scratchbook or something, because something to take your mind off is gonna be very healthy for your, mental health. So I think that covers everything on the mental health, right?
Managing mental health. We also have to go into study tips.
Yeah.
Do you have any study tips, Kamillah?
Oh boy, study tips. I mean, I guess something that helps me. Well, used to help me. Helps me is to make a lot of like notes during like sessions and stuff, and then going back to it and see how can I put those words on my own words. So it's more likely for me to understand it because those are my words and stuff like that. And study cards, definitely. Put a word that you do not understand and put them in your words and try to memorize it and stuff like that. Because usually school right now it's about memorizing. Sometimes it's not even about learning. You gotta memorize stuff.
I feel like we have definitely gotten to a point where it's more so just complete this assignment and not actually learn anything.
But I'm not saying that you shouldn't be learning. You definitely should, because we're here to get a degree.
We did come for a degree.
Right? But, yes, if you have to do some stuff to get through the semester, well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
On my end, studying tips. For me, my main study thing is more so just getting myself into a headspace that is conducive to studying. So one thing I'll do is like rearrange my environment. I like to use a specific color of LED lights when I study, and that tells my brain, okay, it's time to work. Mm-hmm. I'll also have, what's it called? The music without words. It's the kind of background music.
Because the ones I listen, they're meditation songs.
Not necessarily they meditation songs. There's a specific genre of music without lyrics. I don't remember what it's called. Give me 1 second. It's like on the tip of my tongue. It's instrumental music.
Okay.
Yes, there we go.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because they're instruments.
Yes.
We're here struggling to know.
Like I said earlier, my brain is on vacation and only left me with 2 brain cells. So if anything requires 3 or more, you're just out of luck at this point.
Google will have to help.
Honestly, Google does save lives.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, instrumental music and green LED lights. So I'm taking advantage of my senses. I know this color means work. This sound helps me focus. And one thing that my friend also did was she specifically chews gum only while doing homework. So that's another way you can take advantage of your senses and sort of hack your brain to get it to do what you want it to do.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of training your brain. Like, I do stuff like that too. Like, I usually, like, I don't personally like to go to like study halls and stuff, because if I see people, I get distracted very easily, or like if I hear anybody, of like someone's just waving at me, I get definitely distracted and I'm not going back to it. So what I do is usually I just sit in my room, I clean my desk, and then I just sit there. But with being in your room, you get, the chance that you're gonna go back to bed. So what I do is I make my bed, so it's all clean and nice, so I don't go and disturb that. So I just sit in my desk. I can't go to my bed because I just made it, and it's like, so I just forcibly have to sit at the desk and then do my actual work.
See, that might work for you, but the issue for me is I'm built different. If I spread my bed, I will go right back into it. I do not care. The bed is there for a reason, and that reason is to make me comfortable.
Yeah.
Which brings me to another point. Maybe our study tips don't work for you. Everyone has their own thing that works different. And doesn't. And you have to make sure you find what works for you.
Maybe you like to go to the study halls. Maybe you like to be in company or listen to music that has actual lyrics. Or to be in bed. For me, I can't be in. I will literally fall asleep.
No, I do most of my work from bed.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for study tips.
Yep.
Well, hopefully that helps you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
For our last section, we have Native American heritage and Thanksgiving in general.
Yeah.
And on that topic, I just want to say Christopher Columbus didn't discover sugar honey iced tea.
Basically. That's a good one. Never heard that before.
It's one my mom used to use all the time, so it's just like a replacement word. Because she would not want us swearing, but at the same time, she would try not to do it in front of us.
Yeah.
So she tried to be slick with it until I learned how to spell. And then I started putting things together. Maybe that's why I like puzzles so much.
Oh, I love puzzles. But yeah, like, come on now. You did not discover the land. It was already there. It was people already living there. There's a culture already. There's, a language.
And you kind of just went there and took what you wanted.
Like, you came from a whole different place and you thought that was the only place in the world. Well, it was not.
Yeah, no, colonization is a big issue in and of itself, in the sense that you're just coming in and taking what you want and not paying respect to the people that actually owned it. And speaking of paying respect to the people that actually owned it, the costumes are not it.
Yep.
Like, you can't wear someone's culture is not a costume.
Yeah, literally, that was my program. Literally, last month, because of Halloween, we had that program, because it comes out in Halloween that a lot of people want to dress with the headbands and dresses as Native Americans, which is not okay, because those type of dresses and accessories are culture. It's religion for them. It's very important, and every single one of those things has meaning. So it's very disrespectful that you use those stuff and you do not know the culture and meaning behind them, and you don't get to, because it's not where you come from.
Yeah, no, definitely. And especially when you don't understand the culture, sometimes you just end up looking stupid. Yeah. I think it was Ariana Grande or Selena Gomez, one of the two, who ended up getting like a tattoo of Japanese kanji on their shoulder. And the translation was not what it was supposed to be. Yeah. And that's something more permanent, like a tattoo that's going to be there forever unless you decide to get that removed. Yep. But you have to understand what's going on and what you're doing.
And put it in your body, too.
Yeah, that's
something, like, definitely, I know that maybe tattoos in another words and, like, in other languages may be cute. But you gotta understand that it's your body, you do not speak that language, and you don't know what the person is actually writing on you.
Yeah, and then you're gonna go to someone who actually does speak that language, and they translate it for you. Definitely, then you have this look on your face like, what did I just put on my body?
Exactly. Like, sometimes you may have a friend and they translate it for you, but that's not always, like, accurate enough, Yeah. But I literally saw a TikTok the other day. This girl, she works on that. She literally works to make the actual translation for actual tattoos, because a lot of people, they get tattoos and they don't know what they actually mean. Mm-hmm. And if they do Google it, it's not the actual translation.
Google Translate is not accurate. Yeah, it'll get you through your Spanish class, but it will not get you through life.
So she works at that, and she was like, yeah, a lot of people, like, oh, this tattoo, this girl got it, it means bitch. I'm like, oh wow, you really got that in your body.
And you really won't even know because there's like cultural connotations behind the word.
And sometimes the way that it's written, it's probably not even how they actually do it. Because there's a lot of stuff like on Spanish. There's a lot of types of Spanish, and a lot of stuff mean other things. Mm-hmm. Maybe what something means to me as a Dominican, it's not the same thing for someone that is in Mexico. You know, and we definitely have different words for different things. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it all depends. But yeah. Real quick. So yeah, definitely.
So I think the last thing we have to talk about is Thanksgiving and things to be grateful for. Because you can always find something to be grateful for, even if the world isn't exactly the best place to be right now.
Oh yeah. We are alive.
As Alex would say.
Yes, that is something that we definitely should be grateful for because we don't know what tomorrow holds for us. We don't know if tomorrow we're going to wake up. So every time you wake up, you got to be grateful that you have one more day in life to, you know, be here. It might not be great, your life. I definitely know that. But you're alive. You know?
Yeah, and maybe you're not waking up in the best place ever. Mm-hmm. But understand that waking up at all means that you have a future ahead of you.
Yep.
You have some type of hope, some type of light, some type of spark that you can eventually look forward to, even if you can't see it right now.
And it's definitely the small things in life. Literally. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It doesn't have to be a huge motive. Maybe you're looking forward for your breakfast, your favorite breakfast, or eating ice cream later, or watching your favorite TV show, seeing a friend, you know, or getting that phone call or something. Because it doesn't have to be something big, but it's something that motivates you to, you know, be here.
There will always be something that you can find to be your light in the dark.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us ramble for a bit. Sorry, we get off topic.
Yes, that usually happens when you get, you know, in a topic. We definitely touch a few topics that were not even in the list, but that's, you know.
Hey, that's added benefits. You got a bonus.
Yep. Well, I just hope that you guys enjoyed it, and remember to always be respectful to other cultures and all of that. And, you know, never judge anybody, you know. And take care of your mental health.
Yep, definitely take care of your mental health.
Yep, because if you don't do it, there's nobody else that's going to care enough
Ain't
about
nobody going to love you like you.
Yep, definitely. Well,
I was going to end on that, but no.
Oh my, we literally just
I was about to.
Yeah.
I was about to. But no. When it comes to self-love,
oh my God.
Because you always hear love yourself, treat yourself properly. You might be one of those people that really just hates yourself. You hate how you look. You hate your body. You have body dysmorphia. You have something like that. And if you're one of those people, I'm not going to leave you with love yourself, peace out, bye. No. Because sometimes that's harder than it sounds. Yeah. Like sometimes you really just can't love yourself right now. And to that, I'd say you don't have to necessarily love yourself. But try to stop hating yourself so much.
Oh, yeah.
Try to find some form of body neutrality. Maybe don't say that you're in love with who you are as a person. Say you're human. Maybe don't say that you're a great person, but say that you're that person who holds the door open for someone. Yeah. Or you're that person that likes to cook meals for their family. Yeah. Something that's not negative, but not necessarily positive either.
Like I said, small things in the world. It can make the difference. You don't have to be like in love with your body, but you can definitely find some parts of your body that you actually like, that you actually love, and concentrate on those, and concentrate in the lights and the possibility, because those are the ones that are gonna prevent you to go to the dark place. Sometimes it's real. Sometimes our bodies is not what we want them to be, and there's no choice that we can have. You know, you can definitely change your body if you want to, but if you don't feel that, you know, place that you can actually feel comfortable in, just take a moment, look at yourself in the mirror, and see what others see in yourself, because sometimes you don't think that you're beautiful, but come on now, like other person can say like, oh my god, like you look so good, you're cute or whatever, but you don't see it. Just take a moment and see through the mirror and see what other people see in you. And it's personality too,
most definitely. Personality is the most important thing. If you're looking for something wrong, you'll probably find it very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So I challenge you to challenge yourself to find something good.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. And we hope that you'll tune in to our next podcast on December.
Yep. Well, thank you guys so much. This is for real now. Thank you so much for listening to us. And have a great day or night. And see you soon.
Happy Turkey Day.
Bye.